What if I told you some of the greatest horror movies of all time are actually sequels? Yeah, in a genre where follow-ups usually mean lower budgets, weaker stories, and way too many unnecessary jump scares, these films actually did the impossible. They don't just live up to the original, they expand the story, deepen the horror, and in some cases, completely outdid what came before them. So today, I'm going to count down my top 5 horror movie sequels, and trust me, some of these might actually surprise you. Psycho 2. Let's start with the sequel that actually had absolutely no right being this good, Psycho 2. Following directly on from Psycho, this film brings back Norman Bates after decades in the mental institution, and somehow it makes you sympathize with him. Psycho 2 doesn't try to copy the original, instead, it builds a psychological slow burn story filled with paranoia, manipulation, and a genuinely tragic tone. And to be honest with you, Anthony Perkins? He slips right back into Norman like he never left. In my eyes, this is one of his best roles ever. It's unsettling, it's emotional, and honestly, one of the most underrated horror sequels ever made. If you haven't seen this one, I implore you, go out, track it down, and you will not be disappointed. The Conjuring 2, one of the strongest entries in the entire horror genre. The Conjuring 2 takes everything that worked so well in the first film and just dials it up. Bigger scares, deeper emotional stakes, and one of the creepiest villains in recent memory. The Enfield poltergeist case gives this film a grounded, real-world edge. Now, if you lived here in the UK and are interested in haunted houses, the Enfield poltergeist will be somewhere near the top. As it shows in the movie, every single newspaper covered it, and all the actual news programs. It went viral before viral was even a thing, which is absolutely insane. But The Conjuring 2 delivers some seriously terrifying and top-notch moments. But we're not going to talk about how the real story didn't have anything to do with the Warrens, apart from a quick visit. But let's be honest, the movie wouldn't have worked if it was just a quick visit from the Warrens. It's rare for a sequel though to feel this polished, but this one proves lightning can strike twice. We also got a villain in The Nun like Art the Clown who now dominates pop culture horror. Dawn of the Dead. Okay, technically not a direct sequel in the traditional sense, but in the world of zombie horror, this absolutely counts. Dawn of the Dead builds on the foundation of Night of the Living Dead and turns it into something bigger, bolder, and way more ambitious. Set inside a shopping mall, the film mixes brutal zombie horror with sharp social commentary about consumerism. It's gory, it's chaotic, and above all, it is iconic. This isn't just a sequel, it's one of the most influential horror films ever made. Yes, the blood does look like melted crayons, but overall, this is the one that made so many people who didn't really like the first Night of the Living Dead to see this and go, oh my god, this is absolutely amazing. Obviously, being filmed in colour and having a lot more practical and just some outstanding deaths, it made people want more zombie movies. Hell, after this came out, we just saw a mass tidal wave of zombie movies coming out of Italian horror, which is always fun. The Devil's Rejects. Now this one is dark. The Devil's Rejects is the follow-up to House of a Thousand Corpses, one of my all-time favourites, but instead of the chaotic, almost surreal horror of the first film, this sequel just goes full-on gritty, disturbing, and uncomfortably real. It's almost like the Badlands of horror. It flips the script completely, turning the Firefly family into something weirdly human, but also still being absolutely monstrous. It's brutal, it's raw, and it feels more like a crime thriller than a traditional horror movie, hence why I said it's like Badlands. But this movie's definitely not for everyone, but unforgettable if it clicks with you. When I first saw The Devil's Rejects, I was expecting more day glow like the first one, like House of a Thousand Corpses, but instead I got a movie which It seems to be more of a open highway road movie. And to be honest with you, I am 100% down with that. Hellbound, Hellraiser 2. Yeah, taking the top spot for me is Hellbound, Hellraiser 2. You know me, I love my old Hellraiser stuff, but for me, this is how a horror sequel is done right. This is the type of movie that builds on the first one. Picking up right where Hellraiser left off, this film does dive deeper into the mythology, expanding the world of the Cenobites and actually exploring the terrifying labyrinth of hell itself. It's more ambitious, it's very more grotesque, believe me, and somehow it's even more imaginative than the original. And honestly, for me, this is where the Hellraiser series truly became what fans remember it for. You know, you had everything going. When Julie comes in and she takes Dr. Shanad and he goes down in the Cenobite making box, there's so many things going on with that, and that's what you wanted. And to me, it's actually got one of the best lines in any horror movie. Dr. Shanad, going on his way down, gets transformed into a Cenobite. When he appears and back up and he walks out and goes, "Think of it, I hesitated." That is it's brutal, it's perfect, and it shows what type of person he actually is. But this movie is dark, surreal, and it's just completely unhinged. The type of Hellraiser movie that so many of us are still wanting from the franchise. Don't get me wrong, the Hellraiser reboot, which came out a couple of years ago, I think that is the third best Hellraiser movie, but I don't think we're going to beat 1 and 2. I really don't. Horror sequels do get a bad reputation, and to be honest with you, a lot of them actually deserve it. But these films, they prove that with the right vision, a sequel can do more than just continue a story. It can elevate it. So, what do you think about my picks here, guys? For me, these are my faves, but did I miss any of your favorite horror sequels? Or is there one you think is even better than the original? Let us know down below, folks, and until then, sleep well.